The following is an Outdoor Channel original production.
From the hustle and bustle of Souvenir Road to the quiet whisper of the Wyoming wilderness, Chris Williams balances both ends with passion and a little dose of humor.
I hope you get that close.
Now on Realtree's Nascar Outdoors.
Looking outside the 47, wind one groove higher than you through the corner.
Realtree's NASCAR Outdoors, presented by Chevy Silverado, the official truck of the outdoors.
Hello everybody, I'm Bill Jordan. For the ones who know me, you know that I live for the outdoors. But what you may not know, that I'm a big follower of the sport of NASCAR. The fans, the pits, the cars. It's intense, lightning fast paced in every sense of the word. Here on Realtree's NASCAR Outdoors, I have the chance to take these drivers and personalities out here in my world. And let me tell you, you'll see a whole different side from the one at the track. This week, the head of trackside merchandising, Chris Williams, joins us on an archery elk hunt at Wyoming's Wagonhound Ranch. Situated in the heart of the Laramie Mountain Range, about 20 miles south of Douglas, Wagonhound is a large working ranch that features some of the best elk habitat in the region. Returning for his third straight year, Chris and his guide had developed a close but often quirky friendship.
There's nothing changed.
You're just glad you actually got to see one.
I thought y'all had a guide.
First time you've seen
I thought y'all had a guide meeting.
Yeah, it's always good to hunt with Jeff, guide here. He knows the area well. We kind of have a same personality. I don't know if it's attention deficit disorder with a little bit of fun thrown into it, or we're just likable people that seem to be we're the only ones that like each other. So anyway, but we do have kind of fun together. We joke around a lot. We're generally not serious at any given time, even when it's crunch time and everybody else seems to get a little tensified about the moment. We're always laid back. So why don't we just sit in the truck, get behind the wheel, bust that over top of the hill, and we see him run down there, and I'll shoot him off the back of the truck. I know first year we came out here, we didn't walk as much as everybody else. We kind of laid back. Second year we picked the pace up, and I'm assuming this year we're going to pick it up even more.
It's amazing. I thought he'd grow up a little bit in a year. I'm going hunting, if that's what he calls it.
We had a couple of good encounters. We got there, they wasn't sure what we were. They would move, we would move. It's like chess. You gotta think through the process, you gotta think through what you're gonna do, and then try to, basically make it happen.
What do you think we can get up here? It's gonna be about our only shot.
Yeah, there's the elk that went right up at the bank right there. So
It's easy up there. Don't go out any further.
oh yeah.
We come up over the ridge. We had heard some elk moving up into the ridges, and Jeff made a couple of great moves, put us in front of them downwind. There was a lot of cows. We were kind of out in the open. We were kind of hung up underneath this ridge. And to be honest with you, it was probably bad for a rookie as me, because, coming out here, you have to set yourself out in the open. Where I've hunted whitetail and everything else, you've always got to have cover. And, I always want to stand behind a limb or a tree or something, where here, to draw and do the things that you're doing, it's quicker. You have to be out in the open. You have to be out in front of those limbs. You have to be where you can rotate and draw. And I got into it behind a limb, had a big bull pushing the cows up the mountain, chasing a couple of smaller bulls off, and he was about 80 yards. And I've shot quite a few times at 75, 80 to 100 yards, felt comfortable with the shot. I was behind the limb, couldn't draw. First mistake for a rookie hunting elk.
Oh, no.
Chris's first archery elk encounter of the season ends with a shooter slipping away. So the climb continues in search of a big Wyoming bull. Next on Realtree's Nascar Outdoors.
Realtree's NASCAR Outdoors is brought to you by the all-new Chevy Silverado, 2014 North American Truck of the Year, Wiley X Eyewear, absolute premium protection in the field, Bass Pro Shops, your adventure starts here, New Holland, the official tractor of Team Realtree, Primo's Hunting, speak the language, Carhartt, trusted from work to woods, Danner, bootmakers since 1932, and by Bill Jordan's Realtree, family, friends, and the outdoors.
Realtree has been associated with NASCAR since the late 1980s, sponsoring the famed number 3 car driven by my good friend Dale Earnhardt Sr. I had an opportunity to know Dale Earnhardt Sr. well, and I can truly tell you he was a man of integrity and a lot of loyalty. And in 1988, Martinsville, Virginia, at the Martinsville Speedway, he changed a young man's life forever.
You know, I was working 7 days a week. You know, working sometimes 18 hours a day for well over a year. And I was like, man, there's got to be a better way. You know, it's just got to be a better way. And, you know, it just so happened that the race was in town and Dale Earnhardt Souvenir Trailer was across the street where my mom and dad live presently. And it got stuck. You know, I went over and lended a hand, got a tractor and got them out. And that kind of led to a conversation with, at the time, one of Dale's partners. And he said, hey, I want to let you meet Dale. Maybe you can come to work for me. He decided that one night at South Boston, Dale was going to race a celebrity race type deal in the Nationwide Series. And he asked me and my wife to go. And we was like, oh, okay, Dale wants us. You know, this is Dale Earnhardt, the Intimidator. You know, this is 1988. You know, he just come across the championship. And it was just an amazing time to be a part of that whole growth. You know, because before there was real small numbers, but once Dale started that vision with Chase and started that vision of the different markets and the brand, man, we just grew leaps and bounds, and it was fun just to see the gravity of where it was all going. It was really a good time.
Chris Williams also shared a passion with Dale Earnhardt Sr., and that was the great outdoors. Now at Wagonhound Ranch in Wyoming, he continues his pursuit for mature bull elk with his bow.
You know, archery elk hunting is something that I've always wanted to do. You know, I'm looking forward especially to, you know, trying to take a magnificent animal as an elk, you know, because you got to get real close and personal with them. And, you know, we've come out here before. We've had a couple of opportunities, you know, one thing or another. You know, last year I had 3 close encounters and they just didn't materialize, crawled on their belly a lot. They come in real close and they see and hear so wonderful. It's just you can't make any noise. And for a couple of different reasons here and there, it didn't work out. But I think this year, you know, it's going to be a better opportunity. I'm a little bit more keen to what to expect. And hopefully we can close the deal.
So what's the strategy?
Kill him?
Yeah, how?
Well, you get in front of a tree
Yeah.
and you draw back and let the arrow fly. What's your strategy?
For the guy to somehow make a plan and not just try to bust in on them, really focus on what they're doing and where they're going, set up and...
Christ. This is an elk. This is a hunter. This is a tree you're standing in front of.
Okay.
This is the bow
Yeah.
with the arrow. How's that for a plan?
I understood every bit of that. You know what it was? You looked like a kid in the candy show. Let's go.
I've made some great shots and taken a lot of whitetail, but elk is just a difference. It's out of my domain right now, and I'm learning. You know, and that's the thing about it is I've always wanted to do it. I've always had that urge to take that big game, such as an elk, with a bow, and you know, you're going to make rookie mistakes. I understand that. He kind of understands, but, you know, trying to help me through it. You know, and you learn every time you go out there for sure. You know, we had a lot of bugling going on. We had a lot of herds. The rut had kind of started as pre-nature of what was going on. So, you know, we can hear them and we could kind of go in the area, which made it really good. Another rookie mistake, I had one pin, you know, and it may work when you're sitting in a tree stand on the East Coast where you got a little bit of time, you know, to adjust, but I had one pin and I didn't have time to make the adjustment.
Where'd it go?
Shot over his back by an inch. And, you know, it was like I missed. It was kind of a shot that I missed, but, you know, it's archery. You know, things are going to happen. Rookie mistake, 2 or 3 compounded another, and, you know, I missed. And, you know, if you've never succeeded, you never tried. You know, if you've never, you know, taken a magnificent animal, you've never let an arrow fly. So you're going to make those mistakes, and you're going to learn by them. And, you know, hopefully we won't make that mistake in the future.
After a couple of close calls on his archery elk hunt in Wyoming, NASCAR merchandise manager Chris Williams returns to Wagonhound Ranch during the rifle season. And while the landscape may look familiar, the conditions couldn't be more different.
Now we're gonna go up this cut right there.
Mm-hmm.
Come down around that hill and just kind of wait and watch for him. Hope that he comes down to us.
Okay.
I think climbing up on those rocks might be tough. Just play the wind and hopefully they'll feed down.
Sound like
And
good.
we'll shoot him on the meadow.
Sound like good strategy. Let's go get it done.
Let's do it.
Okay.
So we took off and had a pretty long walk, just kind of play the wind and stay hidden from these bulls because, you know, there's a lot of open ground between us and them.
You know, a lot of times you may hunt on the flat ground. Sometimes you may have to climb the rocks for 3 miles. Sometimes you may have to go around certain areas. And, you know, the challenge of what the animal gives you and what nature gives you, you know, is kind of the thrill of the hunt.
So we got up to, you know, set up where we thought would be our best chance of getting a shot at one of these elk if they were to feed down off this ridge. And, you know, we saw several other elk that we hadn't even seen started feeding down into this valley right below us. And, you know, we kind of held out. There were some, you know, a few decent bulls just coming down, and they ended up feeding within a couple hundred yards of us. And, you know, everything was just perfect. And we could still see the bigger bulls up on the hill, and they were, you know, starting to move around a little bit and work their way down. And we'd spotted one really good bull that was, he ended up working his way down to an area where the bulls that were already right below us had come down through.
Like they're looking down.
We were in the rocks, we was in some heavy cover and real steep banks. And we just started easing along the rocks. You know, they were cliffs 30, 40 foot down, but we was just easing along those rocks, you know, to get where we can, you know, have a potential for a shot. So we kind of got set up, and about the time we were kind of moving to get set up, we seen a bigger bull come in. He was about 480 yards. By the time I got my pack on the rock and I got everything set, because you got to understand, these bulls down here that's, you know, probably 100 foot down, but the wind was swirling, wind was heavy, and so we were being real careful. By the time I got set up, I seen about 4 inches of his rear end.
I ain't got but a freaking half an inch.
Dax says, "What do you think?" I said, I don't think that's good. And, you know, probably 30 more seconds, I probably could have shot him up on that ridge. But we still thought it was a great opportunity because everyone that we had seen traveling over to that was coming off that ridge and down into that bottom. And we said, well, let's just sit tight. So for 45, 50 more minutes, we sat tight. And a couple of them come out, but that big bull just wouldn't show.
The first day of the rifle season draws to a frustrating close for Chris, but the foundation has been laid for a good game plan in the morning. Coming up on Realtree's NASCAR Outdoors.
Realtree's NASCAR Outdoors is brought to you by the all-new Chevy Silverado, 2014 North American Truck of the Year, Wiley X Eyewear, absolute premium protection in the field, Bass Pro Shops, your adventure starts here, New Holland, the official tractor of Team Realtree, Primo's Hunting, speak the language, Carhartt, trusted from work to woods, Danner, bootmakers since 1932, and by Bill Jordan's Realtree, family, friends, and the outdoors.
Here at Wagonhound Ranch in Wyoming, Chris Williams and his guide Dax continue their pursuit for a mature bull. Embarking on a new day, they remain encouraged by the elk activity from yesterday's hunt.
We felt like that maybe the best thing for us is to go back up there and see if we can see that 350 bull and maybe get a shot at it the next morning with a different strategy.
Yeah, we're just gonna slip up this backside of where we were last night, play the wind. Hope those bulls are still down the bottom and kind of get above them because they're gonna, when they work up, hopefully we'll be there to cut them off. Sounds good. Good.
And once we could see down in the valley, you know, we saw even more elk than what we left the night before, and several bulls in there, and we just kind of, you know, these guys, like I said, they're always kind of pinched for time, and you know, so you oftentimes can't, you know, you can't be as choosy as maybe you would if you had a 5-day hunt, but. So we kind of looked these elk over and had one spotted that was looked like a really big 5-point bull.
Dax kind of peeked around, kind of looked down. He's like, well, they're all coming up into this swag. Realistically, the only thing we can do is get out on the edge of this cliff, you know, and get a shot at him. And, you know, I thought the same thing. If I can get a good rest with my elbow, you know, from shooting downhill, that I think, you know, I could have a pretty good opportunity. We were looking, and I was in the scope, and I was just adjusting myself, and when I looked back down in my scope, I had a totally different bull in my, and I'm like, wait a minute.
You're saying he's bigger than the one to the right?
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
No, shoot the one to the right. Shoot the one to the right, Jeff.
Kind of changed the strategy of what we were looking at, you know, Dax glassing to make sure there was no other bulls coming in. We thought everything was up in there. It's probably, you know, 30 or 40 bulls coming up that draw, but they were the ones, you know, significant to the size that we were looking for. And he said, I think that's the bull. It's got a little bit of character on the right side. It's got a double split, you know, type deal. And we knew that this opportunity was there. We were going to take that one.
He's got to turn a little bit better than that. If he'll turn just a little bit right or a little bit left. He's bigger, right?
They're real comparable. I think you've got some extra points.
Yeah. I'll wait till he turns a little bit sideways. All right, y'all on him?
Yeah.
He made a great shot on the elk, one shot, and you know, I think we were all pretty pumped. It's kind of cool when you make a plan and it works like that.
I like, yeah.
Nice shot, buddy.
What do you think? What do you think? Look at that. Wagonhound down, ain't it? Look at that. Yeah. Woo.
Holy crap, look at that bull.
Yeah. When you make a shot that long, when you see the animal go down, especially in its tracks, it's fulfilling, you know, because you know you've done what you've conquered. You're not going to let the animal suffer, you know, and you know the hunt itself the miles of walking, the tracking, the decision making, you know, which way to go, which rock to climb over, where they might be, where the wind's gonna be, it's the sun on your, you know, glasses, reflections, everything comes into play constantly. And when it all comes together, it's a great feeling. That's awesome, man. Look at there.
Pretty bull.
He ain't shrinking, I can tell you that. Look at that.
I like the character.
Yes, sir. The splits right here.
Like a double four. Where
I like it.
Big old long
Man,
front on him.
that's an awesome animal right there. He's beautiful. You know, for me, coming last month and, you know, like I said, making a rookie mistake to fulfilling another successful hunt with a rifle, it's definitely rewarding and it's definitely satisfactory, and, you know, it's something we'll treasure forever as a moment with the people you hunt it with. But I tell you what, just to get the opportunity to come back and kill one of these magnificent animals, man, I appreciate you guys having me for sure.
Oh, it's fun. It's a blast.
So now you got to create that Wagonhound down shirt, right?
That's right. You're
brought
the
to
man.
you,
You're the
brought
man
to you,
for that.
brought to you by Dax. You're awesome,
I like
man.
it.
Appreciate
You
it.
too.
Thanks.
Good job.